Hello everyone. Today we are here speaking about EIA, that is Environmental Impact Assessment. Exactly what is EIA? EIA is one of the process. This process is very much required for all the different type of developmental activities, whether it be the governmental processes or whether it be the private activities. The developmental processes, whatever are undergoing, requires careful monitoring of the things so that the environmental impact of the same can be avoided, can be controlled. So, what exactly we have to do? So, basically, when we speak about EIA, EIA is nothing but it is a systematic process which identifies, which predicts, and that evaluates the environmental impact of the proposed actions and the projects. So basically, when we speak about environment, what are the aspects that is counted in the environment? It is broadly interpreted as physical, biological, and social surrounding around the human beings. EIA is a planning and management tool for sustainable development that seeks to identify the type, magnitude, and probability of the environmental and social changes likely to occur as direct or indirect result of a project or policy, and to design the possible mitigation procedure. So basically, in the EI team, the term impact is used for instead of effects of activities. So what type of impacts can be seen or what is impact? Impact is nothing but it is an activity impact of an activity is a deviation, that is a change from the baseline situation that is caused by the activity. These type of developmental activities have some type of changes which are likely to take place in the environment. So these changes are recorded, they are assessed, monitored properly, and they are seen whether such type of changes or the baseline impacts are actually harmful or they are profitable for the environment. Both even the social impact environment is taken into consideration. The baseline situation is existing environmental situation or the condition in the absence of the activity. So when we speak about the baseline situation, before the starting of the activity, what exactly the scenario is, what exactly the condition of the place is in terms of even the social as well as the economic environment, economic aspects of the environment, this is taken into consideration. So baseline situation is a key concept which is measured in EIA. The baseline situation, while speaking about, categorizing the baseline situation, many environmental components may be taken into interest. The important one which have to be taken care of before even the commencing of the projects are the water, soils, fauna of the region, the environmental health, flora, and other special ecosystems. So, when we speak about the water, it is nothing but the quantity, quality, and reliability and accessibility of the water has to be taken care of because water is considered as a key component for the development of the human beings. So, if there is any sort of pollution which might happen due to the developmental projects, so such type of pollutions have to be controlled so that the key component that is water is not disturbed and this developmental activity in terms of industries or dams or any type of road developmental projects may not hamper the environment. Considering the soils, it is how the soil erosion is taking place or what type of effect it will have on the crop productivity or what are the fallow periods which the soil are given, what is the increase or decrease in the level of salinity of the soil, and what are the nutrient components or the concentrations which the project might have impact on. So all these are the aspects which needs to be taken care of. Speaking about the fauna or the animal kingdom of the region, it is the population and habitat. Friends, it is likely we seen that there is loss of biodiversity due to develop different type of developmental activities. These biodiversity losses are controlled or are required to be controlled with a different type of measures. And EIA, as a part of the process, which is very much required, says that or sees to it that different type of developmental projects which are leading to the negative impact, particularly on fauna, can be controlled so that in the initial section only or in the initial phase of the starting of the project, the control, this type of control can lead to some type of prevention from the losses which we are going to see in future. So the next component is the environmental health. When we speak about the environmental health, it is the disease vectors or the pathogens which needs to be taken into consideration. Next, flora, consisting of the natural vegetations, the different type of key species, or the productivity, the growth. All these are also required to maintain the ecological balance and sustain the ecological chain, the food chain of the ecosystem and other special ecosystem. So where we speak about the extinct or the rare animals, rare species of of the ecosystem, for that these have to be considered. When we speak about the components of the interest, are those that are likely to be affected by your activity, any type of developmental activity, or it is based upon what type of activity depends is going to start, or what type of cost benefit ratio or the success it is going to have. The baseline situation comprises of different type of things. The baseline situation is not simply a snapshot. Like for example, at this point of view, what exactly is the situation? However, it is describing while describing the baseline situation, the situation requires describing both the normal variability in the environmental components and the current trends in this component. For example, if the water is polluted at one particular region, we cannot expect that in the surrounding region the water will be crystal clear. So, what type of surrounding current trends are available, which is present in accordance with this baseline situation, needs to be taken into consideration. Types of impacts and their attributes. So when speaking about the EI process, this is actually concerned with all different type of impacts and may describe them in number of ways. So particularly the direct and indirect impact, the short-term and the long-term impact, the adverse as well as the beneficial impacts, and finally the cumulative, that is the entire or overall impacts. Speaking about the EIA, we can see to it that it is having different type of impacts in ways such as the intensity, direction in which the impacts are going on, the spatial extent, the extent to which the project is going to hamper the environment or the level or the geographical unit to which that is going to cover, the duration for how long this impact will be staying in this environment, the frequency, what type of products or how long or how frequently this type of impact is going to hamper the environment, the reversibility, whether the negative impacts which this developmental projects are happening or giving. So can these developmental projects be reversed? Sorry, the impacts can be reversed so that the negative impacts of on the environment can be harmed, can be stopped. And the finally the probability, how likely the chances are there that these type of negative impacts, which if controlled, cannot be coming back because of such type of developmental projects. But finally, it can be stated that all the impacts are not treated equally. Some type of impacts have to be given the priority, or some type of impacts are considered less harmful to the environment. Thus, we can consider such type of impacts a bit later also. Specifically, it is essential in EI to focus on the most significant impacts. Don't waste efforts and time analyzing and discussing the impacts that are less important. When we speak about the EI flowchart, this is how the EI can be considered. For example, it has the processes such as the screening. First, whether which projects have to be going for or should be going for EIA, which should not be. Then defining the scope, to what level the scope or the EIA is going to hamper the impact of the environment. Next, if what type of analysis or what type of impact the project is going to have, what type of impact is associated even with the mitigation, that if some type of developmental project is going to hamper the environment, what will be the mitigation measures which will be associated with it? Finally, writing the report, reviewing the report, and then it comes to the decision making, whether this project should be allowed, that is approved, or should be rejected, not approved. And if the project is rejected after the first EIA process, then again the developer or the people who are in charge of the developmental project gets the chance to see to it that they can go in for their developmental projects or for their activities a bit later. Friends, there are a different type of activities which are concerned with regards to EI. Here we have confined ourselves only till the process of EI. However, when we speak about other in the next following sessions, we can even say about what are the different categories of EIA, which are actually the projects which require the EIA and which do not require EIA. What is category A, B, and C? What type of projects are bifurcated in category B1 and B2? How the public involvement, public hearing is really important in EIA. What type of hearing process and the things are can be considered in EIA. So such type of things can be discussed in the future sections. So for now, thank you so much. Thank you.